All right. Good morning. Good morning. We are live this morning. I can't believe it is Monday, December 1st already. December. I can't believe this year has gone by so fast. I don't know how fast it's gone by for everybody else on this Facebook Live. However, um, it's incredible. What is fabulous though, and I'm going to say very fabulous, is that December 1st, my son's coming home December 16th. So we are going to have a great time with him at home as well. You got a little preview. We have a guest speaker today. But first of all, the coffee with Kiffy, the coffee mug of the day, breaking out the Christmas mugs. Oh, ho, ho, because Santa probably did some shopping over Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and then today is Cyber Monday. So certainly looking forward to getting things going. And oh, today's not December 1st. Today is December 2nd. This is how crazy my life is these days in December. Also, December 2nd, today, National Mutt Day. I always have adopted mixed breeds. They are so fun to know. They got such different personalities, but today is National Mutt Day. So mixed breeds of the world, today is your day. We could say raise your water bowls high because today is for the mutts. And then Tuesday, December 3rd is Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is when you take time to open your heart and consider giving time or money to a charitable organization. We're going to be talking about one in a few minutes with our guest speaker. But I want to say also Tuesday, December 3rd is Illinois' birthday. So if you didn't realize Illinois has a birthday, of course we do. And on this day, December 3rd, Tuesday in 1818, Illinois became the 21st state admitted to the Union. Bet you didn't know that. We have a lot to be proud of. Of course, I think Illinois is one of the best states in the nation. We are the Midwest hub. We have Chicago, we have ports, we have rail, we have airports, we have all sorts of things. Our cities, the suburbs, our rural area is very diverse. We are up on top. We are urban with cities and suburbs. Down below, we are rural with farms that feed the world. And we have all sorts of things going on in Illinois that are great, great overall. So on Tuesday, December 3rd, celebrate our incredible state, which is made up of so many different cultures, businesses, and amazing people. And then finally on Saturday, December 7th, is Pearl Harbor Day. So we must not always forget Pearl Harbor. When I've been to Hawaii, we've seen the Pearl Harbor Memorial. If you haven't seen it, really, you have to see it. It is breathtaking and solemn. Pearl Harbor Day is on the 7th. The Navy League has their Pearl Harbor Day luncheon on December 9th. So the Aurora Navy League has their luncheon honoring Pearl Harbor. I've gone every year, and to be quite honest, it's just been amazing in the past when we had actual Pearl Harbor Day survivors in our area, honoring them. I don't believe they are around with us anymore or able to get to the luncheon if they are still around, but it certainly is a great time. And then hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving last week. And and then one more reminder that wasn't on the dates, but I got to remind everybody, tomorrow, Tuesday, December 3rd, is Toys for Tots, the last day to drop off Toys for Tots, drop off a new unwrapped toy at our Aurora District Office, 1667 Montgomery Road, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 is when we are open. So get there between 9 a.m. and 4, and your donations will help bring joy and hope to children in need of this holiday series. So want to say good morning to everybody on the Facebook, and welcome. We have our guest speaker, Hugo Sethagerald. He's the executive director of the Valley Sheltered Workshop, VSW. So he started in February 2022. You might know him. He was an associate director of PADS Overnight Emergency Shelter at Hesed House in Aurora. And whether you're in a crisis or not, you need to be helped but it is about assistance and helping our fellow individual. Could be our neighbor, could be somebody we don't know, but they all deserve dignity and respect. So VSW is a community-based nonprofit organization whose mission is to empower adults with developmental disabilities through employment and an environment for friendship, learning, and a source of livelihood. They are located in Batavia, and they've been in the Fox Valley area for over 50 years. Their website is vsw-il.org. But one of the reasons I want to talk to him today is because we have a great partnership right here in our area with the Montgomery VFW. And I want him to share a little bit about Valley Sheltered Workshop and a little bit about this new endeavor that they are that they're working on. So Hugo, thanks for joining the Facebook Live Coffee with Kiffy. And I will pass it over to you so you can talk about VSW.
Well, good morning. Thank you for having me. Glad to be on Coffee with Kiffy. Do I show my coffee mug too? It's oh, you can't really see it. It's blurred out. It's a big mug. Mine's a thrift store find. I love shopping through the thrift stores for coffee mugs because there's a lot of cool ones that are there. So that's just one of mine. I'm excited to be on. Thank you for asking me and allowing me to be here to share about VSW and all the great work that VSW is doing out in the community. A brief history of what Valley Sheltered Workshop is, VSW is. It's a place for adults with cognitive disabilities that can't engage in work activities out in the community. We've made tremendous strides in our history to give access to people with disabilities. And we still struggle for some of them to be able to engage in that work out in the marketplace. So what VSW has done since 1966 and a lot of other great organizations up and down the state, they are currently serving 4,000 individuals in this kind of setting, is we partner with businesses to bring in task-oriented work into our space for these individuals to engage in it. As you mentioned, my history and the things that I've done here in the community, one of the biggest tools for anybody going through anything is the ability to access work. And it's not just work to get out of poverty or work to get an income, but it's actually having the identity of work. That is so important to us. And what VSW does is make sure that everybody that wants to access work has access to it. We've been doing it better than anyone else since 1966. And we are a small place. We're kind of like the hidden gem of the Fox Valley. We serve about 35 families in our current location. And what we do is individuals come in once, twice a week, and it's just part of it. I love it. They come in with their lunch boxes and they are geared, ready to work. And we have tons of volunteers that come in to support them. And we create that workspace for them free of charge. We want to make sure that we are walking with families, not depending on families. And it's something great to be a part of. I never thought I would be here and be able to do these things, but this resource and this kind of endeavor creates the best space for every American to engage in work. I saw from being at the homeless shelter how important work was and what did it do to someone's mental health and self-esteem to help them exit homelessness. And it wasn't about how much they're making. It was about being part of a group, being part of the community, being able to say the same thing. We just spent Thanksgiving with all our family, right? And what do we ask the extended family? How's work been? How's that been? Are you closer to retirement? Those are the questions we ask. And people with limited abilities don't usually get asked that question. And they don't feel part of the family. So what we do is we create that. So that leads to, we're talking about the new endeavor we're doing with VFW out in Montgomery. And thanks to you for helping make the connections and all you do in the community for veterans and disabled adults or everybody. What I've seen that we have, the numbers are high, and you could probably provide the numbers of how many vets are coming back disabled currently, right? We had the largest spikes of disabled vets coming back from service back in World War II. They're coming back by the millions. And that's the whole reason sheltered workshops and what we do was created. That law was created into the Fair Labor Act of 1938 to create space for those vets coming back. Because now that you're stateside, you can't identify as a soldier anymore. You can't engage in all those things. You need to go back to your career. And with disabilities, the access to a career is not there. So what they did is they created space and actually language in the Fair Labor Act that created access for those individuals so they can re-engage in their identity, right? Before they went to go fight in World War II, right? It was everybody from our community, right? It was mechanics, teachers, seamstress, bakers, right? They all went over there, served this country so proudly, came back, and we wanted to make sure that they were not missing out. So in 1938, when we had the first standardized work week, standardized minimum wage, taking children out of the workforce, we said, let's not lose the access that people with disabilities have, especially our returning soldiers. And that's where that started. And years later, we're realizing that how important access to work is to someone's mental health, right? Because that's kind of like the foundation for a lot of us. And so we're going to partner with VFW. I'm going to mess up these words a lot, these letters. We're going to partner with VFW to create a space within their Montgomery location. And it's going to be serving our community, our shared community of adults with disabilities. But the unique thing about it, it's going to be run by vets. Our veterans are, my brother was a vet, and a lot of my friends went and served. And what I hear and what resonates with me is how much they want to give of themselves. Right? They gave it all over there, and they come back, and if they're disabled or not, all they're looking for is opportunities to serve. And what we're going to do is we're going to create that space where the individuals that can't go serve and find adequate work without in the community, we're going to create that work right there in VFW for them.
No,
Now
that's a great partnership, Hugo, and I want to just highlight that back in the day, that the enabling law in Congress was for individuals that served and probably had a traumatic brain injury or something to that effect, and still kept them in our community and still kept them working and still kept them really, like you said, relevant. And so many people identify with a job, whether you're an accountant or a doctor or whatever job you are. And of course, what we're looking at is not only opportunities for individuals in your organization through small businesses or businesses that have tasks that they can do, but also you're looking for people to help the individuals. It's a partnership. And that's where I think the call to able-bodied individuals, if we want to say that, veterans or folks that have a little bit of spare time on their hand, can come and actually connect and work with individuals from your organization and help them in a volunteer basis. Do you want to talk a little bit about the partnership that you need? Because you can't get this program up and running with the VFW without a partnership of individuals that want to work with folks from your organization.
Yeah, that is 100% true. And what makes us unique is we're run by volunteers. Our core group of support is volunteers. So coming in, like you said, individuals that have spare time, even individuals that have busy schedules, right? You never know when you have that little opening that you come in and kind of recharge your batteries by giving of yourself for someone else. And our current location here in Batavia, we have about 3 to 4 volunteers every day that come in and interact with the individuals. And kind of what that looks like is you are being their second set of hands. You're helping them just create community, because a lot of times it takes a volunteer that's walking around to create the conversations within the room to get everybody else start talking. So you're creating that space. What I love here at the Batavia, most of our volunteers here are retirees who have so much to give. They have a wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience, and what we notice is a lot of our volunteers are struggling themselves with some of their abilities. Right, as we age, we all get a little slower. We all want to do more, and they're able to use their life experiences and seeing how they're navigated now to share that with our younger individuals that are in here trying to learn life on life's terms. And uh, so creating that with the VFW would be what we really need to get started and get off the ground. And the volunteer aspect of it, which allows us to keep our programming and this resource free to our community. Uh, and without those volunteers, we really don't have a VSW.
VSW, VFW. They do get interchanged. Um, and you touched on it lightly. The volunteers are there, as you said, and as your organization says, to create a friendly, welcoming, nurturing environment for the individuals that are doing whatever job that's in front of them, and also assisting them. So it could be anybody. What time frame are you looking at to be in Montgomery at the VFW? 2 days a week, 3 days a week, ideally all week long. The VFW is of course there to support the community, and they're happy to partner with you and nonprofits alike. But what if somebody was saying, I have 2 hours to spare. I drop the kids off at school at 9 o'clock. I can help from 10 to noon or something like that. What day of, how many days a week are you looking for assistance at the VFW hall?
Yeah, great question. We are going to start off by opening 2 days a week. It's going to be Wednesdays and Thursdays. Um, we want to make sure that we're utilizing the space and we're giving a break to families too. When is the time that other programs aren't running and it would give them a little bit of a break, like I was saying. So Mondays and Wednesdays and Thursdays from 8:30 to 1:30. And you hit it right. Come in for an hour or two, drop off the kids, stop in. When we started this, it was really come and have coffee with the kids, right? Take your child or your grandchild to drop them off at school and then stop here, have coffee with us, help us start up in the morning and get the day rolling. How big that was and still is. One of my favorite thing is when I see volunteers at the door here when people are coming, they're welcoming at the door, they're smiling, they have that loving thing that I don't know if you have this, but um, sometimes we love other people's kids more than our own. And to see that at the door. And parents, the parents of the people that we work with sometimes need a break too and can't be on it 100% of the time. So when they see that volunteer at the door smiling, embracing their loved one, bring them in, it gives them that little recharge too. And then we have volunteers that come in at the end of the day to help us close up the day, put everything away, help clean up, and also get them to their vehicles, get them to the buses that are picking them up, make sure everybody gets in the right car and telling them have a good day and telling their parents have a great day. About 99% of all our participants that are in our programs live with their families. They are adults with disabilities that are living with their families, and their families, like every other family, everybody's working in a household. We're trying our hardest, and VSW just comes in there to give them a break and let them know that, hey, your community got your back, and we're here for you. So that volunteer in the morning and the afternoon, just to remind them, because our program extends farther than the individual that we serve. We serve the whole family.
Oh, that's wonderful. And that's so important because we are all just human beings. We love our family, and I do love my kids, and I do love interacting with other people's kids, but like you said, sometimes you need a break. Whether that's you can drop them off and then go shopping or get a haircut or now that we're in the holiday season, get ready for the holiday, maybe even decorate the house or have a little bit of time off. And that's always great. And as you said, these are individuals that have aged out of the system. They're beyond 22, and they are task oriented. So the VFW has a huge hall that you can use, which is wonderful space they have. What kind of, let's say, my office would like to employ some of your individuals. What services or tasks or things can you provide for an office such as mine or for a small business?
Oh, perfect. And so we are the perfect relationship for small offices, small businesses, and large businesses. And if you're ever going to do a mailing, you want to put that mailing together, that's something that you can share with our population. If you're ever having to do a clean out of the office and you have to shred a bunch of paper, right? That's something that you're going to have one of your staff there all week long, just doing those things. And that's something you can bring to us and we can do. Anything that's task oriented within your, so I, what I tell is we do a lot of partnerships with real estate brokers because they do a lot of mailings. They're in the business of selling houses and doing mortgage, doing all that stuff. They're not in the business of doing the marketing and doing those mailings. So they come, drop it off to us, and that's something that we can take and fill in a whole week worth of curriculum for individuals. And I want businesses to understand we are in the business of building people, not boxes. And because we take so much care and we value the individuals that we get called to serve, the work is done to the highest quality. It comes back a lot of times, and those organizations are like, "Wow, I didn't expect this." And I think the thing on top of that, with surpassing their expectations, is when they see the joy that comes in the individuals here doing it. Them feeling that they're a part of society, part of the community, part of businesses, and helping you live out your goals as a state rep, right, at your office. They're helping you do that, and they can see those tangible results because they go to people. Those things go out, and they know, like they look at address. Oh, that's my neighbor, or this is a town over, and they see those things, and they know it's going out, and that's what we all need in life, right? You as a state rep, when you get a bill passed and things go through, you're like, I made a difference. And that's what every sector of our community needs that. And that's what we do with small businesses and large businesses. You're giving us those opportunities for these individuals to have tangible results of their engagement in the community.
So folks should think outside the box, because like last week, a lot of real estate individuals, realtors, did Pi Day. And on all the pies, they've stuck their business card onto it or a little thank you sticker or something like that of these pies that they got. So that's something that your folks can do. They can get rid, maybe next year for Pie Day, you can your folks can sit there and help out all the real estate professionals in the area, putting their stickers and their information, their cards and thank you stickers with regards to uh, that token of appreciation. So you could put together like gift bags. If a company has 25 or 30 employees, then they want to all give them a small gift bag that includes maybe a gift certificate, a little token or something. Your folks can put together these gift bags and have them ready to go for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's we um we excel at assembly and putting things together. I think last year we had a unique opportunity. A local business that does retail for Christmas ordered some product and it didn't come packaged correctly to be displayed at the stores. So they dropped it off to us and asked us to help them. And really, what they were going in there, they're going in there, opening up the package, turning the item around so you could see it through the window, and then closing the package back up. So it was a nice, safe, and very engaging. And then after all that was done, they were able to, when they went to Von Mar or the stores that this product was in there, they seen it on the shelves. And one of them came back, and I remember when they were doing it, they always asked, they're like, hey, can I buy this somewhere? Because they want to show their families. They're proud of what they do. And a few of them had their families go to Von Mar and purchase that product last year. So they have it at their home, and they don't use it. It's there to show that that's the quality of work that my child can do. And we're all proud. All of us as parents are proud of our kids. And
Parents are proud of their kids no matter what their age. So I'm proud of my
yes,
son. He's 22. He's coming home. He's in the Navy, so he's coming home. Today's December 2nd, so that means he's coming home in 15 days. He's coming home December 16th. So very excited about that. But all our kids, you just have to be proud of them, and we all love them as parents, and want to support them and give them the most fulfilling job, the most fulfilling life that they can have. And that includes having a good job. And now, do you work with parents? Because there is, a threshold with regards to income. There's a threshold with regards to that. So do you work with parents to set up able accounts or other services that their child might need if they are doing this work and helping out with your organization? Because you said you work with the whole family structure. So what kind of services do you help with the family and the parents?
absolutely. I did not realize till I came into this world and started working with the families in the community I'm working with, how expensive and difficult it is to navigate your financial life as families with adults with disabilities. And so I wanted to make sure that whatever we do here, we're building a foundation for individuals that they're going to be able to be independent or understand that once mom and dad are not here. Right, want to build those, and as parents, we want to put the best foundation and security for our kids. So I partnered with local lawyers, financial institutions to create those able accounts, trust. What we do is we engage with families. We do and through our intake process, where we learn about the individual and the families, where they're at now. And I feel like every family out there, a lot of us don't plan fully, right? And we want to make sure that we are walking with them and engaged with question on income. We're individuals are only with us a day or two. And when they are here in our facility, it's not like a factory where you're punching in and you're working nonstop till you leave. You engage in the activities, the work as you move through the day. Some people spend most of their day chatting. We've all worked with people like that. And they'll spend most of their day chatting. And the cool thing is if they're not engaging in the work activities and doing those things, they are having a space to socialize, to engage with their friends, and it's at no cost to the parents. Right? And that's one of the hardest things to navigate is parents finding places for refuge for their loved ones and being able to afford it. So we're able to give that space. So individuals that are here, trust me, they're not cranking out thousands of units a day. We're not making big checks, and it's not about the checks. It's about the quality, not the quantity that's being done here. So because of that, a lot of our families don't have to worry about that threshold and how much to have in accounts and how much to make and how to affect SSI. And I'm still learning myself as I go. It is not an easy path to navigate for anybody. So we want to do that with the parents.
Oh, definitely. It is, unfortunately, government doesn't make things easy. They are purposely, to be quite honest, perfectly cumbersome. Um, Mostly to try and because of the scammers and the fraud and that's out there, and that makes it difficult for people that need the services legitimately, unfortunately. But I do think that just that social component of hanging out with folks. I've worked in offices in the past in a couple decades ago, and there have been days when people are just not tuned in and just wants to chat and uh get away from their life a little bit in their work environment and talk about things. And, and that's part of uh, uh, an organization, that informal organization where people talk, back in the day by the water cooler. They used to call it water cooler chat. They would go and chat and get to know people, and in chatting, that makes a stronger organization. And that's important, because people will be like, oh, they just talked for 30 minutes in the lunchroom and they weren't productive. But that is important to the fiber of any organization, is having that connectivity, which you bring to the individuals that are part of your group. So certainly it's well worth it. And we wanted you to be successful. Now, again, you can't launch your Wednesday and Thursday program at the VFW without volunteers in place. And I'm assuming these volunteers will go through a small training so that they are perfectly trained to help with whatever comes up during your Wednesday, Thursday um, program. In addition to small businesses, contact you if you have a Christmas card mailing or anything that's going out to the community, especially this time of year. Your folks can put on the labels and put on the stamps and stuff the envelopes, seal them up, and get them to the post office in time for Christmas delivery, New Year delivery, whatever delivery time you need. So folks that want to help out, folks that have a couple hours that want to be part of your organization here in the community, here in Montgomery. Right there across the street from Montgomery Hall is the Montgomery VFW. Tell folks where they can go to get more information and how they can sign up or get more involved for this rewarding partnership that your organization brings to our community.
Absolutely. You can go on to our website, vsw-il.org. So it's Valley Shelter Workshop, Illinois.org, right? vsw-il.org. Go on there. There's a page. It says become a superhero, because I will tell you, volunteers are the superhero to serve in the community. There is nothing like someone that has a mission and is passionate that shows up at any organization's doors. They can do much more than any organization. So we need you. Go on there, you can fill out an application, or also just email myself at Hugo, Hugo, at vsw-il.org. And let's start a conversation. I invite you to come over and visit us in Batavia, see the great work we're doing here. I guarantee you stop in, you're not going to want to leave. It's that kind of place.
And then is there a number that they can call to?
Yeah, call, I don't remember our number, 630-879-2359. So it's 630-879-2359. That's our office in Batavia. Call anytime, leave a message if no one answers. We are a small space. Every spot that we use here, we use it for work. So somebody's going to pick up the phone. And the cool thing about our organization, even our participants and our clients, they pick up the phone too. I tell them it's their house. Answer the phone. They're probably going to know the answer more than I am. So give us a call. We look forward to hearing from you. And if you get the opportunity, stop in.
No, that's wonderful, especially during this season of giving. And again, Tuesday is Giving Tuesday. So I just want to thank Hugo for coming on and sharing a little bit about VSW, a little bit of what they do, and then hopefully the community can come together. We can get you some good volunteers for the Montgomery site and get you up and running on Wednesdays and Thursdays for the folks that are part of your organization. As you said, you're all family there. And we just want to help out those of us in the community, want to help out your family with the VSW family, and certainly bring sense of purpose, respect, and dignity, along with fellowship, friendliness, and sounds like they have some fun there too.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. That's usually have to shut my door because you can't hear anything amongst all the fun and enjoyment that they're having out on the floor.
Oh, sounds wonderful. Well, thank you. And then I'm just going to give a quick update. You can stay on or you can pop off, but I'm just going to we just have a couple small announcements this December 2nd. And, but thank you so much for coming on and sharing what your organization does.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and I wish you a Merry Christmas,
Oh,
and we'll be
yes,
in
have a
touch.
great Christmas, have a great holiday. All those that celebrate, I say there's so many holidays between. I once counted the amount of holidays throughout the nation and throughout the world from December 1st past through the middle of January. I think there's like 15 or 20 different holidays of the different cultures that we have in our nation. So it's really kind of cool if you want to do that to research all the holidays that everybody's celebrating in this time of year. It's really quite amazing. So wonderful for that. So speaking of holidays, again, just going to give a little update. The last day for Toys for Tots is Tuesday, December 3rd at the Aurora District office. Now, you might have been outside a little bit. It's quite a bit chilly. Warming centers are up and running. If you don't have heat and you need a warm place to go, certainly you can swing by my office. The library is a warming station, the train station. There are many warming stations throughout the area. You can go online or you can call my office to find out where there are warming stations, 630-585-1308. If you have any questions, please, 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 if you're having heating issues and you're struggling, reach out. We want to be able to help you out. It's brutally cold outside. Also, LIHEAP. LIHEAP is a program that provides a one-time benefit to eligible households to be used for energy bills. The amount of payment is determined by income, household size, fuel type, geographic location, and a bunch of other things. But LIHEAP is for heating assistance, energy bill assistance, heating and cooling. So certainly look up that program, but we want to make sure people are safe. Again, do not leave your pets outside either. They are wearing a thick coat. They do have their fur on them, but it is way too cold to have any pets outside. Have them go outside, do their business, come right back inside. Please keep your pets warm, keep your pets inside. Even if you think that they can handle it, it's much better keeping them indoors, out of the cold, out of the wind, and safe and sound. We certainly don't want to have any issues with regards to that either. So keep your pets warm, keep your family warm, and if you need assistance, call my office. Now, just a couple things. There was one bill introduced. It's an interesting piece of legislation. We're towards the end of our cycle with regards to Springfield. So anything introduced at this point in time is going to have to be reintroduced after the new General Assembly comes into gets inaugurated in January, or if we do have what's called a lame duck, which is session days before that inauguration, could be voted on in those session days. So those session days before inauguration is January 2nd through the 7th, and inauguration is on January 8th. So Representative Bob Morgan introduced a new piece of legislation that's looking how health insurance companies use artificial intelligence. Now, you want to say, how is that a thing? Health insurance companies, I see my doctor says I have an ailment, sends it to the insurance company, and what is happening? Well, it turns out that artificial intelligence is being used to make decisions with regards to whether something will be covered or not an independent doctor or an individual at all. So the bill's title is called Artificial Intelligence Systems Use in Health Insurance Act, and it would give the Illinois Department of Insurance regulatory oversight of Illinois health insurance providers. Now, again, we can only regulate health insurance within the state of Illinois. If it's a health insurance plan that goes over multiple states, we don't have that authority, but we have authority of insurance plans that are only operating in the state of Illinois. And looking at giving our Department of Insurance oversight of the Illinois health insurance providers' use of artificial intelligence to make or support adverse determinations that affect consumers. Adverse determinations is a big long word that means denial. So, so we're looking at claim denials and the use of artificial intelligence with regards to denying care or coverage. Now, average people won't think about this. They just think, I want to go to my doctor. I want to be able to get the health care that I need. And you would trust that insurance companies would be independently evaluating these as they should, but they're using artificial intelligence. They claim to expedite the claims approval denial processes as they deal with high claim value. That's fine. There's a lot of claims. The volume is high, but how is that affecting everyday people, especially patients and physicians that are struggling with denying coverage? Now, how do insurance companies make their money? Well, in one part, denying coverage, because then they don't have to pay for care. So there's been some investigations by ProPublica and others that have revealed that the use of AI can sometimes contribute to higher denials than not. So that's a bill that just to put on your radar, if you're interested. My fellow colleague, Representative Bob Morgan, represents the Deerfield area, and he has submitted that piece of legislation. We also, the Illinois Department of Transportation announced that it received $31.6 million in federal funds. I talk about this a lot, how the state government works with our federal government to develop a program to expand the use of clean construction materials that result in reduced levels of greenhouse gas emissions. So we got that through the federal government's IRA, the Interest Reduction Act, and the Climate Act that they passed. So support clean American manufacturing while reducing pollution from the production of concrete, steel, asphalt, and other materials. So it's to develop a program. So we're working to try to be the leader in research to find ways to deliver products that minimize the impact of the environment. That's our Illinois Transportation Secretary, Omar Osman. And so the grant will advance both economic opportunity and new areas. So Illinois was one of 39 recipients to receive this program, and the award, 31.6 million, was the maximum amount. So IDOT's just going to continue working with research partners and members of the industry to create new processes that qualify emissions impacts of construction materials. So that's really exciting as well. We were looking at hemp. Now, I might have talked about this a couple months ago. So hemp growers are looking at some proposed new regulations from the Department of Agriculture, and we had the legislative committee, which is the Ag Committee, is looking at it as well, along with JCAR. I brought this up before. JCAR is the Joint Administrative Committee on Rules. So just for a little bit of background, if you want to know, we pass a law. And the department has to figure out how to make the law into action. And so they have to produce rules. And these rules then go through JCAR for approval so that it lays within the intent of the law. And it's a bipartisan, bicameral, state, Senate, House and Senate, and then Republicans and Democrats equal, all four ways. So there are some proposed rules that have been kind of in the development for at least 2 years with regards to new regulations governing hemp production. There's a recent draft that was submitted in September that contains some changes to the earlier version. And they are looking at provisions that would allow unannounced inspections and testing of hemp crops, restrictions on who could obtain a license to produce the crop, and the possibility of sanctions or criminal violations of certain rules. Industrial hemp, believe it or not, one of the things that I read is that George Bush Sr., the first George Bush, President George Bush, that when he served in the military, the parachute lines were made out of industrial hemp and then transitioned into nylon. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But industrial hemp was a really significant crop in the United States until the 19th century when it was used for making things like rope and textiles. However, the government back in the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 and later completed a ban of all hemp and marijuana in 1970 Controlled Substance Act. So nearly half a century later now, with the rise of popularity of certain hemp-derived products like CBD oil that provide health benefits, the federal control over hemp has finally began to loosen. Now, hemp is different than marijuana to a degree and the THC in marijuana. So hemp is defined as having less than 0.3% of the intoxicating chemical THC and removing it from the list of controlled substances, making it eligible for traditional farming programs like crop insurance and farm loan. So we passed in 2018 when the federal farm bill reclassified hemp the Industrial Hemp Act that gave the state Department of Ag authority to regulate the industry, which allowed for growers and processors in accordance with federal law and regulation. So certainly that's the history, the short history of hemp. There's a lot going on as well in that sphere, but we still have to administer rules on how cannabis and how hemp intertwine with regards to governmental oversight. Certainly the intent is to align and implement along the same lines as the 2018 Farm Bill and looking at some of those provisions. We also passed the Cannabis Regulation and Tax Act in 2019. That was the law that legalized recreational marijuana. So that is a licensed program. So we're looking at both those two acts. So the rules were scheduled to have final approval November 12th. They delayed that for 45 days. There is a J-CAR scheduled Tuesday, December 10th in Chicago with regards to that. And then we talked a little bit about PPP and COVID. We are continually to look at fraudulent claims. Some of the restrictions because of COVID were loosened up with regards to who could get Paycheck Protection Program loans for small businesses. And some folks, again, fraudsters and individuals that are not always truthful, made up, completely fabricated, made up applications for small businesses. So we have identified and uncovered at least $7.2 million in Paycheck Protection Program fraud. What we looked at as well is our own state employees. So 275 instances of misconduct by state employees, fraudulently took money too. So about the $7.2 million. And so the state is going back and seeing if we can recoup some of that money. So there are several instances of individuals doing that. And as legislators, we are looking at laws. I know that my colleague, Representative Fred Crespo, has filed a bill to ensure that there are routine checks such as cross-referencing data on any loan forms with any other agency databases with regards to that. Between April 2020 and April 2022, the fraud hotline of the Small Business Association received billions of calls, of which a large number went unanswered. So really diving into that situation as well. And then Illinois educators unveil a Vision 2030, a blueprint for the future of education. So They unveil this routinely, and states regional superintendent groups say the school code has more than doubled since the year 2000. But with more responsibilities, schools need a bit of flexibility to keep pace with a rapidly changing world. So the broad plan revolves around three pillars: future-focused learning, shared accountability, and predictable funding. It isn't the first of its kind. Like I said, every few years, 2012, they developed a vision for 2020. And then certainly now we have a vision for 2030. So working with our school professionals to make sure that, we look at the mandates, unfunded mandates, many new rules come with associated costs, and looking at school funding and working together with our school officials and to help make sure that our students are getting the top quality educational attainment that they can. So that is just unveiled. I do have a copy of Vision 2020 on my bookshelf, and I look forward to looking at Vision 2030 and see what new ideas and what we can do with regards to our children in our schools. And finally, I'm going to leave you with this. The Illinois Department of Revenue offers online safety tips as holiday shopping season approaches. Do you think those scammers are taking the month of December off? Absolutely, positively not. They are ramping up any way, shape, or form that they can separate you from your hard-earned money in a malicious way that is not going to bring about a gift for grandma. It will put money in the scammer's pocket, and that's all they want to do. So here are some of your online safety tips as holiday shopping is upon us now. Protect your personal information. So don't put in too much information online. I think we talked about this maybe last week, the week before. Birthday, addresses, age, financial information such as bank accounts and social security numbers are among things that should not be shared freely. With that in mind, I don't click on any link that just comes to me on an email. Go straight to, if I get an email from Home Depot and it says click here for specials, I go to the Home Depot website and put in right to the, I don't click on that link at all. Use strong passwords. So if you have your password that you've been using for the past 20 years and it's your dog's name, Fluffy123 exclamation mark, change it. It's a little bit weak. You can use a randomizer. They have password randomizers that you could use online, gives you random passwords. And there's also programs that is a password manager to store your passwords if you want to do that online, or you can keep it in whichever way you want, but certainly make sure that it is protected. Enable multi-factor authorization for extra security for online accounts. Then you will get a text message and you can approve and you can know what's going on with your account. Security software. Did you not renew your security software? Regardless of what it is, Norton, McAfee, or anything else, make sure it is up to date. Make sure it has antivirus and firewall protection to provide additional help and protection. Again, I'm going to say this again all the time. Phishing emails and social media scams. Now, phishing emails, they send you something that looks like a legitimate offer, click the link and you will get it. Or as I've said, your package can't arrive on time, click the link to find out where it's at. Click the link, don't click the link. The other day, well, a couple of weeks ago, I put in one character off of the website I wanted to go to. And all of a sudden, my computer started beeping. Do not turn off your computer. Click here for assistance from Microsoft. It loud noises and makes you panic. And, I know I have a virus protection on my computer. So I actually did shut down my computer and Control Alt Delete, and then you can shut it down, and then it reran it and fixed my computer. So don't do anything rash. Don't click on anything. Don't answer a phone call. If you click on something and then you put in your phone number and they call you, they act really legitimate. Don't do anything like that. If you have an issue with your computer, And I've known people that get a call and they send them iTunes gift cards and a lot of money. They're very, very sophisticated. If it doesn't sound right, it's not right. Lead with your gut. Call. I would probably call my daughter because they're younger and they know more about this stuff than me, but call somebody. Don't just do it call somebody, have somebody on the phone, talk to people. Fake online stores. I have decided to stop, really, fake online stores. So you get all these ads through your Facebook page or your social media account, and you think, oh, that's the most beautiful dress, that's the most beautiful piece of jewelry. You click on it, and it's clicking you to a fake online store. They imitate popular online realtors. They pop up frequently during the holiday season. They may look even identical to the real thing, but they want to just steal your information. So be aware of these websites. Look at the domain name. If the domain name is a little bit off, don't go there. Don't buy anything from that place. And text messaging, phishing scams as well. Click on the link. Don't do that either. Use your credit card instead of the debit card when possible. Credit cards offer an extra layer of protection. Credit cards usually offer greater protection in case your account is compromised. And lastly, monitor your bank and credit card statements regularly every week. Check online, check online, check online. Check your accounts for any unauthorized transactions and report suspicious activity immediately. Look at your accounts every single week. Every single week, log in, check what's going on in your account. So with that, I want to thank you all for coming. I'm looking at some of the comments. Paul Jackson says that most scammers are persistent and sophisticated. And Rick Scalzo, thanks for coming on, saying that the drug insurance that the doctor prescribes it needs to be covered. Bonnie and Gay, happy holidays. And then Sally says she has a friend trying to get a nonprofit up and off the ground, but needing weeks of delays with DCFS approval. Who can help? We can try to help with that, Sally. Our office does help mitigate and try to bring issues and departments together. So certainly reach out to us if you have any or have your friend reach out to my office, and we can try to work with DCFS and see what the holdup is. Sometimes there is a holdup that most people don't know about. So thank you all for joining us today. And I hope you have a great week. Stay warm, be careful out there, and certainly enjoy the first week of December. So take care, everybody. Shop small all the time. Support our local businesses and have a wonderful week. Take care.